Welcome to Serotonin Now. My name is Mia, and today's episode will be the first in a series of music marketing masterclasses where I examine and analyze marketing decisions by successful artists so that we may learn from them. And today we're looking at the Icelandic jazz pop singer Laufey. This is Mad Woman Marketing 101. 5 music marketing lessons from Laufey. If I had to choose one word to describe Laufey, it would be singular. She draws her music and aesthetic from the past, leaning into the classical and jazz music that she loves and not caring too much about being a servant to what's popular. In doing so, she crafted her own unique brand of pop music and a well-known name for herself. At the moment when I wrote this introduction, Laufey was in the midst of a world tour performing in Australia. Without a doubt, her popularity is owed to her music, but I believe her marketing strategies have helped elevate her to the singular position she sits in now. So in this article, I'll break down the genius strategies and decisions that earned Laufey and her team the title of Marketing Masterminds. Number 1, say Laufey. Laufey and her team aren't afraid to be bold. One notable example of this is Laufey's billboard for Coachella 2025, on which the headline, "Still Struggling with My Name? Visit www.saylaufey.com to learn," is printed to the left of the photo of her crying face. The link leads to a website with one video in which she pronounces her name, which is notoriously mispronounced, correctly. While this billboard doesn't directly promote Laufey's music, it does something better. First, it builds awareness of Laufey, who at the time was well known but still not known by all. For those who don't know Laufey, the billboard draws up questions. Who is Laufey? What does she do? How do you say her name? All these could have prompted drivers to later visit saylaufey.com and discover more about this rising musician. Second, the billboard brings Laufey closer to her listeners or potential listeners. Her face is unfiltered and far from the staged portraits one might expect from a rising star. The billboard's design also challenges that of more professional ones, with a glittery pink background scattered with hearts and glittery purple and pink letters. This rawness and casualness makes Laufey appear relatable, authentic, and capable of not taking herself too seriously. As these are qualities most people are drawn to, especially in this age, I'm sure the billboard led to new additions to the family of lovers, which is Laufey's fan base. It's important to note that such a billboard might not have worked for all artists. While a bit unprofessional looking, the billboard's design does stay in line with Laufey's brand as a romantic. Music marketing lesson number 2, Megan. Laufey's ability to not take herself too seriously plays into her adept handling of an awkward situation at the 2026 Golden Globes. While walking the red carpet, Laufey experienced a moment of confusion when a photographer kept calling her Megan, incorrectly identifying her as Megan of Cat's Eye. Smiling, Laufey said, "My name isn't Megan." Rather than becoming angry or indignant, Laufey addressed the situation with good humor. She even took the mix-up a step further. In her Instagram post featuring photos of her from the Golden Globes, Laufey wrote in the caption, "Megan, surrounded by 2 orange hearts," which represent the orange color of the dress she wore. Not only did this move display her down-to-earth nature once again, but it also rode the wave of press following the misunderstanding. Of course, many people were talking about what had happened, and Laufey joined in the conversation. I think this reinforced the admiration her existing fans had for her and led others to discover her and Megan. I, for one, had no idea who Megan was until this happened. Music marketing lesson number 3, Mad Woman. The Megan misunderstanding plays a key role in Laufey's next marketing masterclass. In April 2026, Laufey released a music video for her song, Mad Woman, a track in her deluxe edition of A Matter of Time, which is called A Matter of Time, The Final Hour. For this video, directed by Warren Fu, she recruited Alyssa Liu, Megan of Cat's Eye, Hudson Williams, and Lola Tung, all very prominent artists and, in the case of Alyssa, athletes in different areas of the entertainment and athletics industries. In bringing all these artists together, Laufey built a bridge between all the fandoms they are associated with, a bridge that will ultimately benefit each of them. The influence of this cast was not the only thing that made this a brilliant marketing decision. What made it truly exceptional was the timing. Just 2 months previously, Alyssa won gold for the USA in the Winter Olympics, propelling her into fame. In the aftermath, she even presented Taylor Swift with her Artist of the Year award at the iHeartRadio Music Awards. What's more, Alyssa attended Laufey's concert in September 2025 and skated to Laufey's song Promise at the Milan Cortina Winter Olympics in 2026. As we know, at the Golden Globes 3 months previously, Laufey was mistaken for Megan. Megan is a member of the 5-part band Cat's Eye, which has released 5 singles so far this year. Less than 6 months previously, the first season of Heated Rivalry, starring Hudson Williams, released. Highly popular with an 8.7 rating on IMDb, the show brought Hudson Williams into the spotlight. And just this past autumn, the last episode of the wildly popular romantic drama The Summer I Turned Pretty released, along with the announcement of a movie to come. The star of this show? Lola Tung. Laufey took these 4 figures who were already in the limelight and turned their audiences towards her music. In doing so, she also paved the way for her fans to discover these other artists if they hadn't already. Music marketing lesson number 4, Mei Mei the Bunny. Just 8 days after the release of the Mad Woman music video, Laufey published her children's book, Mei Mei the Bunny. Whimsically illustrated by Laura Nohara, the book follows the story of a bunny who performs on stage. Wow, this is genius marketing on many different levels, even if it was just considered a passion project by Laufey. First, Laufey stays in line with her brand. Both the themes of this story and the style of the illustrations align with her whimsical, musical, and vintage aesthetic. Second, the book expands Laufey's avenues of entry. People may now discover her through the book as well as through her music. On the flip side, it's likely that existing fans purchased her book. Her music career feeds her author career, and vice versa. Third, Laufey finds young fans. Young readers of Mei Mei the Bunny will be familiar with Laufey's name and may grow up to be lovers. Music marketing lesson number 5, A Matter of Time branding. When looking for someone to brand her most recent album, A Matter of Time, Laufey's creative director and twin sister, Hunia, didn't go to a big design firm. Instead, she went to a college grad. Gabrielle Uy defined the design of Laufey's A Matter of Time album and tour. I personally don't think Hunia could have chosen a better designer. Gabrielle captures the vintage, romantic, and whimsical style of Laufey's brand perfectly. With her hand-painted and, in the case of some lettering, for which she used icing, hand-piped imagery, she created a design ecosystem that stands out in the music world today and stands in line with Laufey's singularity. In conclusion, there's a certain playfulness to Laufey's marketing. I think this allows her to turn everything, even mispronunciations and misunderstandings that others might see as drawbacks, into opportunities. She's not afraid to think big, as we saw when she manifested her idea of drawing together an all-star Wasian cast for her most recent music video. But most importantly, I think Laufey is not afraid to stay true to herself, rather than trying to squeeze herself into a music scene that didn't exactly conform to her style. She carved out a place for her unique sound. She preserves the singularity of her voice and uses it to uplift other artists while naturally uplifting her own. Thank you for listening to Serotonin Now. Stay tuned for the next episode.